I actually think that a lot of the macro factors that usually investors either have to make tough decisions around or can outright spook investors, like rising interest rates, et cetera, inflation, things like that. And those can be really tough to navigate the minefields of them, because sometimes inflation means growth, and we like that, but do we, right? And depending on where you are in your own investing, what your portfolio looks like, you may be thrilled by the idea of growth and interest rates heating up, et cetera, or you may be kind of spooked by it. And I think cryptos, which are built with a lot of different facets that you can turn to, technology when you need that, or anti-inflation when you need that, et cetera. I think they're going to really come into their own this year because of the fact that investors who, like I say, you don't necessarily know where to turn. You might look at a currency that, sure, it's volatile. You can't get rid of that. We know that, right? You know that. But then you look at the inflation and you look at the growth of adoption and you look at just how many different things are being built on cryptocurrencies. And you think to yourself, sure, it hasn't really been tested in a high inflation environment, but maybe I'm willing to put 1%, 2%, 5% of my portfolio into something that was specifically built for this. Just like nobody spends every dollar they earn on life insurance, but it's an investment you still have to have, right? But if you do it right, if you do the proper proportion of your portfolio into something that was specifically built for the challenging times we've got in front of us, I think it'll pay off for people.
Let me ask you, are you only going to be judging performance based on price action, or Max, I had Max Kaiser on, who says he doesn't want to focus on price. He's looking at adoption, the technology growing. Are you looking at all these things, or do you expect a breakout in price here?
Part of me always expects a breakout in price, because Bitcoin is certainly capable of that. And I think we've had so many other interesting uses of the technology of blockchain. You take, Ethereum, and then everything that followed on with that, all the smart contract coins. And I think that we're in this age now where you're starting to hear the word DeFi in a broader and broader circle. And so certainly we've got this ecosystem that anyone can build anything. And then there's Bitcoin. And Bitcoin it's like a marble statue, right? That once it's built, you don't want to change it. And then everything else is coming and going and changing fast. You crazy little coins. And then there's Bitcoin. And so our industry has had to learn to sort of, Bitcoin, all it does is change price. Sure, it's being adopted. And sure, there's lots and lots of people, including companies and countries, that are now saying, we have to own a piece of that. But That's the right. only part that people can change is the price.
Right.
So
right.
Max, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that was a great interview. Max and I see it similarly there, in that everything that's changing around Bitcoin is interesting, and the price is the least interesting part of it right now. Now that can, I think, maybe sometimes mislead people who only look at the price into thinking the price is safe. No, I think what I see, and probably similar to what Max sees, is these prices, ups and downs, that's baked in to Bitcoin. So when I see something, like I started to saying, the macros are really in favor of Bitcoin. And what I mean, and cryptocurrencies, what I mean by that is, I was looking at the quarterly, the ending of 2021, the last quarterly report of the Bank for International Settlements.
Yes.
And it doesn't get any more big money than that, right? Any more macro than Bank for International Settlements. And when they're starting to talk about DeFi, and they're starting to talk about, the technology behind cryptocurrencies and what it can do, that tells you a lot right there. That's what we're watching for.
You say the attitude shift that we're seeing, and at the top level, the Bank of International Settlements, where they've matured from, we got to fear and run from crypto, has completely evolved. So if that message from the top has changed, this is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's statements in there even that are saying things like similar to bank this and similar to bank that. And you think, okay, that's where we wanted to be all along. Actually, superior to bank is where we want to be in the future. But I think 2022 is a great year for cryptocurrencies for that reason.
I want to talk about decentralized finance and how will the progressing blockchain projects combat high gas fees seen on the Ethereum network. And you write, for example, Frontier just announced integration with Binance Smart Chain and PancakeSwap. Anyone who has paid high Ethereum network fees will appreciate DeFi with lower fees and faster transactions. Is this going to be one of your main focuses for this year then?
Absolutely it is, because not only that, but Ethereum is supposed to be finally shifting over to proof of stake middle of this year. And I say finally because it's taken quite a while to get here. So maybe it will, maybe it won't. It looks pretty good, but when it does that, then that'll drastically reduce fees that investors pay for any kind of transactions like that.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
What are your thoughts on currencies like Solana?
I actually really like the variety and the ability that, anybody that wants to start something can. And that could be an individual with a good idea, or it could be a VC, or it could be a bank. And I know that may be not the most popular opinion in cryptocurrencies. A lot of people really want to stick to their lane and really want this to be, my project is the project or the best. And I'm very open-minded about it, because I think that the technology that we're developing by being able to punk rock some things and orchestrate other things, I think it's definitely beneficial to us to try new things and see what works.
To the Bitcoin maximalists out there that say, how can you embrace these other cryptos? They're not really decentralized. It's not really providing you freedom. What's your response to those folks?
Pickup truck, Ferrari, convertible, right? If all you ever see as being the absolute best mode of transportation is a dump truck, then you're going to have trouble parking it. And I'm not saying dump trucks are bad, and I'm not saying Ferraris are bad, but if you need to move furniture, you don't use your Ferrari. And if you need to, park at the beach or something, you don't use your dump truck. And they both have value. And you're not wrong to be a Bitcoin maximalist. You're not. Part of me is. And I know that throws people off, but part of me really is for what it does. And when that's what you want and that's what you need is the absolute strongest network ever built by humankind, there's no comparison. There's no comparison whatsoever. But if you want to try some experimental technology to see if we can improve things, we can. I'll look at that. I'll look at that.
I like that. Okay, Eric, tell me the next hot thing 2022 in the crypto space. What should we be looking at?
I'm looking for what most crypto people are going to be bored to tears by, and that is. That is folks who are maybe in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. There was people that were planning on making 8% to 10% to get them through retirement, and now that's gone. It's vaporized. Not even junk bonds pay that. And crypto, DeFi, and staking, etc., were paying that and then some last year. And we even have cryptos that are saying 2 million%. And that, I think that spooked a lot of people that were normal investors. But now we've got this great confluence of normal investors who are saying, okay, interest rates have shot up to 2 or 3%, and yet crypto interest rates have maybe come down to 8, 10, 12%. It's not so ridiculous. When we were comparing 0% bank rates to million% crypto rates, it was ridiculous, right? Only the most risk willing to take risk people would make that jump. But now as regular interest rates creep up and most of the solid crypto rates are creeping down, I think there's going to be people out there that are thinking, hey, maybe I can afford retirement off of crypto, off of DeFi. Absolutely, and that comparison is going to be better.
Okay, you have a great track record. I'm not here to embarrass you, but one of the cryptos you picked last year, saw 10x roller coaster up. So Can you tell us, I'm not gonna say your top three, but like one crypto that you're eyeing or you think we should be paying attention to?
Wow. Well, we already mentioned Ethereum. I absolutely like that, and I love Bitcoin at this price. So those are the easy ones. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that for this year. I think those are the two most important. That if anybody hasn't built up a full portfolio of those, let's stick with those for now.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.